Why does your Tingyun keep getting targeted? Well, there is a secret mechanic that the game doesn't really tell you about, and that's aggro or taunt values in the game. None of those are actual official terms. So from now on, I'm just gonna call them aggro values because taunt is an actual thing in the game. So I don't want to get the two things confused. Now, what I do think that most people already understand is that characters on different paths have this hidden aggro value. But a lot of people don't actually understand how that translates to the true probability of your character getting attacked. A lot of times I see people making huge assumptions that just because you have a preservation character on the team, that preservation character should be getting targeted all of the time. So in this video, I'm going to explain exactly how the aggro values convert into the actual probability of your characters getting attacked. So if you didn't know already, preservation characters have the highest aggro value, and then erudition and hunt characters have the lowest. Preservation characters have a hidden value of 150 aggro value, erudition and hunt characters have 75. And then everything in between is 125 or 100. 125 for destruction characters, and then everything else, harmony, abundance, and nihility are at 100. However, for some reason, Tingyun has 1,000. I'm just kidding. She has 100 just like all of the other Harmony characters. Well, at least she should. She might actually have a hidden value of 1,000, given how many videos I've seen of Tingyun just getting targeted over and over and over again. Now, these values don't really mean anything on their own. The probability your characters get attacked depends on the combination of the characters on your team. So let's take a practical example of a team consisting of a preservation, abundance, nihility, and hunt character. If we add the total aggro values here, it would be 150 plus 200 plus 75. This puts the total aggro value of the team at 425. The chance for your preservation character to get targeted is 35.29%. Your abundance and nihility characters have a 23.53 chance to get targeted, and your hunt character has a 17.65% chance to get targeted. 35% is not that high. So without any modifiers, there's a good chance that, yeah, your Harmony character, Tingyun, has a good chance of getting hit multiple times. So how exactly was this probability calculated? Well, like I said earlier, we take the total team's aggro value, and then we divide that by the character's aggro value. So if we take our preservation character, 150 divided by 425 is 35.29%. It's a very simple calculation. Now, this should illustrate that the base aggro values do favor your preservation character to get attacked, but it's not by a lot compared to your other characters. For your hunt characters, it's about a 20% increase, and then for your abundance, nihility, and harmony characters, it's about 10%, given the current team comp. Okay, now without any modifiers and with this current team setup, the chance for your nihility, abundance, and harmony characters to get attacked twice in a row should be 23.53% times 23.53%, which ends up being about 5%. So that is pretty low, and getting hit 3 times in a row, I believe, is less than 1%. So that is also a pretty rare occurrence, but we've all seen it happen. But anyway, that is how aggro values on a basic level works in Honkai Star Rail. Now, if we add modifiers, we can much better control who the enemies will attack. It's still not 100% guaranteed, but it's definitely a lot better than 35%. There are several ways that we can modify our aggro values. Clara has a way to modify her own value with her ultimate and technique. Both of them raise her aggro value by 500%. March 7th can increase any party member's aggro value by 500% with her skill. Gepard has an ascension trace that increases his modifier by 300%. The Landau's Choice Light Cone increases the modifier by 200%. The Moment of Victory Light Cone increases the modifier by 200%. And several hunt character traces can lower their aggro values by 50%, and Yanqing's talent lowers his base aggro value by 60%. So let's say we take March 7th skill and apply it to a preservation character. Their probability now goes up to 76.6%, and then your nihility and abundance characters go down to 8.51%. Your hunt character goes down to 6.38%. These probabilities are much better. The way the new aggro value is calculated is by taking the character's base aggro and multiplying it by 1 plus the modifier percent. And so a preservation character with a 500% aggro modifier will have a new aggro value of 900. Now here's the thing, since other characters have such a lower base aggro value, if you were to use March 7th skill on those characters, then it's not going to raise the probability as high as putting it on a preservation character. So for example, if we take the same team comp setup, a hunt character with March 7th shield raises their probability to get targeted to 56.25%. That's significantly lower than the 76.6 if you were to apply it to a preservation character. If your hunt character is the only person with March 7th shield, the other characters' probabilities go down to 18.75 for preservation, and then nihility and abundance and harmony go down to 12.5%. If we end up using Landau's choice or the moment of victory light cone on a preservation character, remember it increases our aggro value by 200%. So if that's the only modifier that we have, the new probability to get targeted is 62%, with the same team comp setup, of course, with preservation, hunt, nihility, and abundance, or swap out either nihility and abundance with harmony, since all of those are 100 base aggro value. Now for a hunt character, as the trace activated that lowers their probability to get attacked, their aggro value goes down by 50%, and in that case, their aggro value drops down to 37.5, and their probability of being targeted is now 3.3%. Our preservation character goes up to 79%, and our nihility, harmony, and abundance characters go up to 8.79%. And I've got one more use case to go through with you guys, and this is when you put a March 7th shield on a destruction character. This increases their aggro modifier by 500%. So a character with 125 base aggro, their new aggro will go up to 750. So our team setup is now destruction, preservation, abundance, and hunt. The probability of your destruction character getting targeted here is 69.77%. Your preservation is 13.95. Your abundance is 9.3. Your hunt is 6.98. And this use case is specifically for Clara. So when Clara activates her ultimate, she gets another 500% aggro modifier. This increases it to 1000%, and her new aggro value is 1375. Her new probability to be targeted is now 80.88%. Your preservation is now 8.82, your abundance 5.88, and your hunt 4.41. So even with 1000% aggro modifier, we're still not really reaching that 90% mark. We're still around 80%, which in my opinion is not that high. However, in actual gameplay, you'll see your Clara getting attacked most of the time, where it'll feel like it's way more than 80%. Except in this clip here where you can observe the true power of 80%. 1000% modifier, and Natasha still gets hit. So there is no guaranteed way to have an enemy target a single character except by the effect of taunting. Taunting is a completely separate mechanic from all of these aggro values. This is because taunt is actually a debuff, and if an enemy is taunted, they will 100% attack the character that they are taunted by. Currently in the game, only the fire trailblazer can apply taunt to enemies. And of course, if the taunt misses because the enemy resisted it due to them just having too much effect res or the fire trailblazer not having enough effect hit rate, then all of the original probability rules for aggro will apply. So if you want to guarantee that your taunt lands, you gotta build effect hit rate on your character. And so if you're wondering how effect hit rate and enemy effect resistance works, I actually have a video that goes over that exact mechanic right here. And this video is going to go over those mechanics as of the 1.1 update where they made some changes to it.